Alright, so now that it's nighttime, I wanted to show you a couple of things I learned about the lighting, some interesting tricks that you might like, that you might be able to use for your builds. So let's take a look. The idea is that each light can go a certain amount of tiles, and the light that gives you the most amount of tiles is these big guys that cost agave seeds. But they go a certain amount of tiles vertically and basically horizontally to make any kind of difference in your lighting situation. So this right here is 4 tiles up, and I just want to show you quickly. If we place this here, 4 tiles up gives you nothing. They give you this sort of range. It doesn't come down to here. If we take that same thing, we move it down to 3 tiles, you can see it barely lights up this central tile here, this one that's right directly under it. So it's also kind of useless, but it could provide some ambient lighting, some moodiness to your build. But the really awesome things about these guys is that if you're sane like me and you build to each room 2 stories high, then these guys are perfect. I want you to see this. Look at this. So 2 stories up, you get 9 tiles out of this guy just by changing it one time. You get 9 tiles. And if you were to let's say add one here and add one here, 1 tile in between, you get a shitload of bright lights. Okay, we're also, don't have to do this. If we eliminate this one, you'll see what happens. Okay, so you still get good lighting, but there's a space in between. So I would say do one of these. Okay, so 2 spaces in between, and you're doing a little bit better. 1 space in between, you're extra bright, but you can only have so many of these, so you got to really think about your limits, your space limits and stuff like that. So if I take this and I move it over here, you can see it looks much nicer. It's more full, but 9 tiles is a lot of space for 1 room, unless you're building like what I'm trying to do here with a big, large factory. So if I move over here, it's going to light up the factory quite nicely. Take a look at that. See? So you got some nice lighting there. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could fill the entire space with that stuff, but alright, now I wanted to show you a couple of neat tricks. If you come over here to this corner, there's no light physically, there's no light fixture physically in here, but there's light bleeding through this wall. You come and take a look at my office here. Ignore the bed. I don't know why I have a bed in my office, but there's a light right there, and it lights up my office space quite nicely. But it also shines right through these walls. So if you're a creative, and I bet you anything with a good amount of imagination, you can come up with some cool ideas for this. I was thinking about, what if you were to light a hallway this way? The end of a hallway kind of just has this like weird moody lighting. I don't know. You guys could probably figure something out way better than what I've got in mind. But I want to show you one more thing which I discovered. So let's go to the air race. Okay, a couple of neat tricks I learned here is if you build an air base like I have, where a staircase comes down into this location, you build yourself a nice little space for your pilots to share a little bevy. But you turn around, you can see how nicely you can underlight your thopters if you just place a couple of these down. I know everything has a cost, you only have a certain amount. I happen to be lucky, I have like 1 million bases because I'm in a guild. But this is a pretty cool idea for these strips. Use them as like a little parking light, and you park right on top of them. Land right on top of them, and you get a nice little cool effect there. This is the other thing I wanted to show you. Because lights actually go through walls and objects, you can backlight your objects that you place on tables and things, and the glass objects are kind of translucent. Take a look at that. Look what happens when you run. So if you have like a nice spot where you want to catch the eye of a passer, someone who's passing by, look how all that kind of. So all I've done is I placed this low standing light between two tables and created a spot for it to shine through, like a so. And you can do this as well. That also works with these doors, not doors. Where are they? Spacers. You can put a light behind them and it will show right through. So I want to show you that too. I'm going to move this. I need a light. So now you can see that it's green. It's showing through, shining right through there. It's pretty neat. So you could use that to create some cool effects there. And underlighting goes a long way. Like, take a look at that banner. Banners are so hard to see in this game. Like, it's almost pointless to have one because the lighting in this game is so hard to achieve. It's like there's friction everywhere in this game. But take a look at this. If you have like, if you want to place a banner, place it maybe on a banister and put down a fence here and a light. And then when you look up, you get this cool effect. And that's very clear to see. And that's actually better than shining light directly at it because it really doesn't, it doesn't do a thing when you shine a light directly at it. Let me see if I can show you. I'm going to move this over there. Okay, so you can see that, right? So like if I'm trying to, what's happening when I do this is that the light is bouncing off of that back there, and it's bouncing off of the, I'm using my hands like as if the camera can see my hands pointing at the screen. It's shining, it's reflecting off of this banister and then back onto there, okay? So if we put that back down, but I take this guy and we try to place it in front of it. Yeah, it's hard to do it. It's hard to see. I've got one here. So I've got one here or here. So if I'm just shining a light directly at it, kind of like, it doesn't, you know, it's really hard to capture getting a light right on it. You have to sort of, I don't know, it just doesn't, the lighting is really hard to achieve. But this is a neat little trick that you can use. I just put it right here. And you've got like this great like way to show off your banners. This will work for all those banners. If you have any other cool ideas for lights, please share them. I'm a fiend for this kind of stuff. I like trying to make the base look comfortable, not just functional. So maybe I'll do a base tour at some point and show you some other cool ideas I have for my base. Anyway, that's a little bit of lighting for you, and I hope you can appreciate it. See you next time. Oh yeah, also, one of the best lights to use for filling a space is this Harkonnen floating orb. It shines 360 and doesn't have an interruption like the Atreides one does over here. You can see the Atreides one here has this sort of like a shadow because of the way it moves, and you can sort of change the direction of the shadow. Look at that. That's kind of cool if you want to do some kind of cool effects, but really for lighting a space it's kind of terrible. So I'm going to show you. If I come in here, I'm going to light this space. I can use, where is it? This guy. And suddenly, this whole area is really nicely lit. So you need one of these. Look at it. It's doing basically effectively 9 squares and two squares of height quite nicely. This is providing a lot of light. The only thing I don't like about this light is like it's sort of washed out. It's not warm light. but it is quite nice. The other option with this kind of light, let me demolish it. This one. Let's try it versus the original. The original is also not so bad. If I was to say, just spin it a little bit. So the original is pretty cool. That's like, you know, standard. It is a little washed out as well, but it's warmer. And it's got a nice design. I really like it. Now, I was let down by the Atreides one, but I also do like it for its own reasons. Its own reasons. What does that even mean? Because it is bright. It's but you know, if I put it somewhere here, right? Okay, so it's bright. It lights up the area, but it creates these shadows, which I don't know what.
Yeah, it creates
how much
shadows.
Of a use that's going to be.
Every light creates a shadow.
Who wants to light a space?
Yes, I want to light a
it's the light that
space.
creates shadows, but
Yeah,
you know, it
so-
can have some cool effects, I guess. You know, if you're trying to divide a space a little bit, maybe you have one side
No,
over here for
the only dividing you want to
living
do is
space, one
divide
side
and
over
conquer
here
your
for storage,
enemy.
and nothing else in between, or maybe you put a couple of those breakers in there.
Breakers.
Like maybe you do.
One thing I'm going to break is
Here
your
we're not
bones.
even talking about
No.
lighting anymore. We're talking about
No,
something
don't do
else.
this.
What
No,
are they
they're here to watch the
sure.
lighting video.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so
They
if
don't
we
want to
do a
hear you
couple
talk
of
about
these,
this. Whatever these
you know,
are.
to like separate the space a little.
These are breakers. My horns on my head are these breakers.
Who knows, right?
Nobody
So-
wants to watch this, but if you
These
want to
guys
watch
can
it,
kind
go
of
right ahead,
cover
okay,
this a
Mamo?
lot.
Well,
Anyway,
that's a nice
this
horse.
isn't even my room, so I'm just ruining somebody else's room in the guild. But anyway,
Okay, goodbye.
let me clean this up. Sorry there, Badger. Back to... Oh, wait, I just wanted to show you. No, wait, there's more! If you really want to, you know, light somebody's donkey up, that's pretty cool. The donkey's a little bit translucent, yeah? Anyway. Enjoy.